Morning, students. Today we're going to see about subject verb agreement. Okay, so before that we're going to see the definition for that. Subject verb agreement simply means the subject and verb must agree in number. This means both need to be singular or both need to be plural. Okay, the basic rule of subject verb agreement is a singular subject. For example, she or he, Bill or Kane, okay, the name or the object, something like a car or bike, like takes a singular verb. For example, is goes signs, like, okay, whereas a plural subject takes a plural verb. Okay, so there's one example. The list of items is or are on the desk. Okay, so there is option. There is two verbs. Okay, one is a single verb. The next one is a plural verb. Okay. Okay. So what comes? Okay. So obviously the list is a singular subject. It seems. So obviously the singular verbs comes. Okay. So the answer is the list of the items is on the desk. Okay, right. So there is some rules in subject verb agreement. The first rule: a subject will comes before a phrase beginning with of. This is a key rule for understanding subject. The word of is the culprit in many, perhaps most subject verb mistake. Hasty writers, speakers, readers, and listeners might miss all to common mistake in the following sentence. Okay, so for example, incorrect. There is one incorrect sentence. The bouquet of yellow roses lend color and fragrance to the room. Okay, so a bouquet. So a bouquet is something like many flowers in one bouquet. Okay, so it's something like a singular subject. A bouquet of yellow roses lent. Okay, so in here bouquet lens, not roses lens. Okay, so he talks about only a bouquet. Okay, so rules number two singular subject connected by or, either or neither nor require a singular verb. For example, my aunt or my uncle is arriving by train today. Next rules. The verb is an or neither nor. Sentence agree with the noun or pronoun closest to it. For example, neither the plates nor the serving bowl goes on the shelf. This rule can lead to bump in the road. For example, if I one of two or more subjects, it could lead to this odd sentence. Okay, so obviously there is one awkward sentence. So what is the sentence is neither she, my friends, or no, I'm going to festival. If possible, it's the best to revert such a grammatically correct but awkward sentence. Better. Okay, how we can better the sentence? Neither she, I, nor my friends are going to the festival. Okay. Rule number 4. As a general rule, use a plural verb with the two or more subjects when they are connected by and. Example: a car and a bike are my means of transportation. But note these exceptions. There are some exceptions for some sentence. Breaking and entering is against the law. The bed and the breakfast was charming. In those 10 sentences, breaking and entering and bed and breakfast are compound nouns. Rule number 5a. Sometimes the subject is separated from the verb by such words as along with, as well as, besides, not, etc. These words and phrases are not part of the subject. Ignore them and use a singular verb when the subject is singular. Examples: the politician, along with the newsman, is expected shortly. Excitement as well as nervousness is the cause of her shaking. Rule number 5b. Parentheses are not part of the subject. For example, Joe. So inside the bracket, and his trusty mate was always welcome. If this seems weird, try rewriting the sentence. Okay. So rule number 6. In sentences begin with here or there, the true subject follows the verb. Example: there are 4 hurdles to jump. There is a high hurdle to jump. Here are the keys. Note. Okay, so the word there is, okay, there is a contraction of there is, leads to bad habit in formal sentence like there's a lot of people here today, because it's easier to say this than there are. Take care never to use this with a plural subject. Rule number 7. Use a singular verb with distance, period of time, sums of many, etc. when considered as a unit. Example: 3 miles is too far to walk. The second one: 5 years is the maximum sentence for that offense. $10 is a high price to pay. But $10, for example, dollars bills were scattered on the floor. Okay. So rule number 8. With words that indicate persons. Example: a lot, a majority, some, all. Okay. So rule number 1, they said early. Okay, the given early in this section is reversed, and we are guided by the noun after of. If the noun after of is singular, use a singular verb. If it's a plural, use a plural verb. Okay. For example, a lot of pie has disappeared. Okay, a lot of the pie has disappeared. Okay, so second one, a lot of pies have disappeared. Okay. Rule number 9. With a collective noun such as group, jury, family, audience, population. Okay, so the verb might be singular or plural depending on the writer intent. Example: all of my family has arrived or have arrived. Most of the jury is here or there or here. The third sentence: a third of the population was opposite or were opposite to the bill. Okay, so we come to the last rule number 10. The word were replaced was in sentences that express a wish or are the contrary to fact. Example: if you were here, you would be sorry. Shouldn't Joe be followed by was, not were? Given that Joe is singular, but Joe is not actually here, so we say were, not was. The sentence demonstrates the subjunctive mode, which is used to express things that are hypothetically wishful, imaginary, or factually contradictory. The, the subjective mood pairs singular subjects with what we usually think of as plural verbs. Example: I wish it were Friday. Okay, so obviously the persons think like imaginative or something like a fairy. Okay. Okay. In the example, a wishful statement is not a fact, okay? It's a being expressed, therefore, where which we usually think of as a plural verb is used as a singular it. Okay? Thank you.